end up working out. Everybody, game number 1, Serenity up against Hebi. And so this is going to be a bit of an interesting matchup. I feel like especially Cannon Lance, I don't get to see a lot at all. I don't know the last time I've watched Cannon Lance.
Yeah, I'm excited to see kind of how that matchup plays out. Both weapons very forward-facing, but nonetheless, we're seeing Hebi come out on top with the sword so far playing very well versus the lance. But as I say that, the damage definitely not looking so, because we're seeing the Serenity Orion already kind of outpacing the Hebi damage on the Sidra.
Okay. GC D6 to hit behind you. The coverage on that is crazy because it doesn't actually need to be grounded. That is just how huge the vertical hitbox is on it. Serenity being nice and patient, going to be just fading back because again, you get to cover so much space as Orion on Lance. Side sig, D6, side light, side A. The GC N-sig did not connect. Serenity so comfortable in that position.
Looking already very, very solid there. As I say that, though, Hebi is able to find a down sig into the weapon toss. One of the couple sigs in the game that go for that like kind of arc into a spike, similar to Ezio there. But on the Sidra specifically, it's very snappy and something you have to be very careful for, because Hebi already getting a lot of extra credit there, but immediately gets swatted away by that spear recovery.
The advantage state of Cannon, the hitboxes, they're so active. Everything hits PJ. When you get that one dodge read, everything connects. That's not going to be enough to be able to go ahead and take out that stock. Dodging up, able to land successfully. Okay, dashing out a little bit. The sider not going to be able to come out in time. Avoiding the N-sig, but the N-light comes out in time as well. Hebi is doing a really good job exploiting the lack of N-lag on some of these signatures.
Yeah, we're already seeing just so much dominance in a lot of these whip punish scenarios, which is something that Hebi is definitely going to be very good at. A very high pace and very active player, somebody that will definitely not allow you to make many mistakes, because you'll get KO'd very early forward, and you see another whip into an end light, and oh my goodness, you're stuck off stage. The recovery doesn't connect, but a nair from Hebi there, who's unable to make it back to the wall themselves, but so much damage. And that nair, if you got a little chase dodge after it, you might have been able to make your way back there, but nonetheless, you're happy with all that extra damage.
It's worth it. That kind of damage is absolutely worth it. And now you have Sword on hand. When it comes to consistent damage, when it comes to consistent KOs, Sword can do it for you. But the question is, how do you find this opening? Gonna be just whiffing the N-sig just as is. The D-light not gonna be able to connect quite yet.
I love that from Hebi there, going for the weapon toss to give some space. But as I say that, Serenity steals the game away, gets the side light into the side air, catches a jump on an attempt to recover high, and Serenity is able to steal the game away. Oh my goodness.
That's Lance. Lance and Cannon, they're looking for the same thing. They want their side-to-side combo. They want to put you at the edge of the stage, and then they say, hey, do you want to jump? That's cool. That's cute, because I have a jump sider with your name on it. That was criminal. That was thievery. That was broadcast to 40,000 people on Twitch. Unbelievable. That was evil, PJ.
Yeah, that was crazy. What a crazy robbery of a game there with the lance. And yeah, that is something that you definitely cannot give any lance player. Kind of similar to Cannon. They're going to be very, very good at ushering you off stage horizontally, and then as soon as you go for a high recovery, you're just going to get called out for it. And unfortunately, there Hebi wasn't able to make it back. For those of you at home that are familiar with Southeast Asian players, Hebi is formerly known as Urahara, somebody that I've been able to commentate quite a bit, but now switching their tag over to Hebi, and is playing very, very well in this tournament so far, looking to make a name for this new tag, but you can't really make your name for it there when you get hit by 2 side airs off stage by Lance. But nonetheless, we're getting into game number 3 on this Demon Island pick. Very excited to see the adaptation. Potentially just don't get cheese in those spots, but we'll see the spear online.
Speaking of don't get cheese,
Serenity. Oh my goodness. Get cheese.
Dude, what about cheese? They have the same thing. They're the same. PJ, why are they both capable of doing that to each other? And why did Hebi come out on top? It's because Serenity went down there. Oh no. Oh no, PJ. What is happening?
They both can do it. It's equal. We are one and the same. We are cut from the same cloth there, which is funny because last game we saw 2 side air KOs off stage, and then we also see the down 6 trade out there, and Hebi's able to come out on top. You know, sometimes in those last stock situations, the person that gets the last hit gets the last laugh, and that's a very tough early lead for Hebi, but yeah, I mean, if you're Hebi, you're happy. If you're Serenity, you're definitely looking to make this comeback happen quite quickly. They're getting the Sig connection there, now just really snowballing this game. This looks really tough for Serenity.
And this should have been Serenity's opening. This should have been Serenity's lead. That should have been Serenity's early stock. So the question is, how do you get your mental back together and fight your way back into even territory? The answer is not anytime soon. And be able to go ahead and successfully clean that stock up as well.
Man, this is looking tougher and tougher here on this Demon Island. I'm not too sure how you make this comeback happen versus Hebi's cannon, which has already shown to be a big problem. Nice little side sig there, but it's not up to KO, and you still have to find a way to close out this stock. A side air doesn't KO once again, and looking harder and harder. Oh, that was a crazy weapon toss into recovery. I like that a lot.
But though, excuse me? Okay, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cute. The weapon toss into the recovery to be able to close that out as well. Serenity now trying to even up the stocks, but the damage and the stock count still is not anywhere close. Hebi looking for that end sig. It is not connected quite yet. Serenity looking for any way to get back onto the stage. Sidelight, neutral recovery, getting this juggle on and getting this damage on too.
This is crazy. The side air comes in here for Hebi, and I feel like you're definitely not super like, okay, I'm gonna win this game. You still have to be very careful, especially with the way the last game ended. But the downlight into air, not enough to KO, but enough to continue this weapon start game. The downlight into recovery surely will be, as Hebi is able to close out the game off the back of a very tricky offstage situation.
What an opening from Hebi. That was a crazy opening. To be able to get such a confident and dominant lead from the beginning is amazing. And then I have to say, Hebi seemed a lot more patient in advantage state. Waited out a couple of dodge, and then if you're able to get a dodge read successfully as Cannon, congratulations. Cannon now has a side-to-side combo that at least puts you super deep off stage, if not altogether KOs you. So yeah, Hebi looked amazing that game.
Yeah, really clean stuff all in all, as we see a swap of drip here from Serenity to try to make a counter pick happen, but nonetheless, Hebi really showing off like their ability to really kind of take over a game and really snowball with a lead. That's something that Hebi is definitely known for, is if you're able to get a consistent lead, there's somebody that will not let off the gas, and you see their Serenity was never really able to find their footing off of that first stock down sig shenanigans on the left side of the stage. But nonetheless, here we're on Small World's end, and we'll see how this game 3 plays out.
Sword on hand. Okay, Hebi just gonna be trying to find a way to deny Serenity. I don't know how that weapon toss didn't actually have an active hitbox to it. It's because I think it bounced twice. But okay, what a ground pound immediately. Serenity being nice and patient, waiting until Hebi was just far enough away that you could get away with a nice safe dodge.
Spear online here. I feel like this is we haven't seen much of the spear. I feel like versus the Sidra, you definitely want to create some sort of space, and I think that spear might be a good way to kind of mix up the pace of the match. And so far, it's working out very well for Serenity, who's able to call out that dodge away and up with a recovery of their own. And all of a sudden, we have Serenity able to equalize and even take the first stock there.
Side sig not going to be able to come out successfully. Okay. Hebi. Why did Hebi get the stock for that after whiffing 2 signatures? Did you deserve that? And actually not going to be enough. Hebi comes back onto the stage, opts to not finish chewing the food, and as a result, Serenity making it back on for a little bit until the GCD sig connects.
Crazy how many Sigs Sidra has that kind of mimic a lot of the other Legend Sigs there. That's a classic get off and kind of similar to some core signatures, but nonetheless, a double cannon there creates a pretty scary spot to be in. The side air hits a grounded Serenity, but right now Serenity looking to make the spear work again. I feel like the spear in that first stock really showed that this is something you have to be worried about as the cannon versus it, because it's really good at just poking away the cannon and getting some pretty good damage. As I say, that very aggressive side stick gets punished with a downlight.
Oh yeah, this is the safe weapon of disjoints, and somebody that keeps on leaning into you will inevitably get punished. The GC sidelight was able to successfully call out the dodge.
Nice coverage!
Last hitbox of the D-light. I cannot believe it connected, but we have to see it. We saw it happen, and we saw the D-light into the ground pound. That was an amazing advantage state, PJ. That catch on the dodge was, mwah, it was delicious.
That's exactly what you want to see on the unarmed. That downlight confirms into every move in the entire game, so it's cool to see that able to cover that very, very low, but also just high enough to be above the wall. Recovery there, and all of a sudden Hebi with the lead can be very, very scary to deal with. We'll see if the Lance is able to find a KO. Looking to cover a jump, but ultimately finds the KO with a side air grounded. And all right, it's down to a last stock here. It could be anyone's game.
Can be anybody's game, but Serenity is at the slight deficit. Here's what I would say. GC sidelight through the continuous coverage. Neutral down a ground pound as the landing option is so committal, but it ended up connecting, and it gave Hebi a bit of peace of mind. However, the dodging gets caught by the Ensig. Oh, this is snowballing.
It's getting tough here versus the Lance, especially on the sword. I feel like you might want to see yourself on a cannon here because the Lance is just controlling so much space, throwing the sword away in an attempt to get some unarmed damage, does with that downlight into recovery, and now the cannon is back online looking for the signature connection from both players, but a side air wins out on top. Of Serenity is one hit away from closing out this game 3.
Oh gosh,
can't believe they're able to make it back.
Yeah, Hebi took that opening with the D-Sig, was able to go ahead and find the downer as well. Lance up against sword. The N-Sig connects. It's not going to be enough to KO quite yet. Dodging past the downer, getting denied of a weapon just for a moment longer.
Oh, it works again!
That's
I
crazy.
cannot believe it. That was twice in a game. Heavy's able to find the GC down sig to call out stacking from Serenity. I cannot believe it worked.
I want to see if
that was
one
insane.
disconnected. Look at the way that GC sig hit. Well, not that first one, but they would be able to go ahead and close that one out as well. You know, Hebi, I saw somebody in Twitch chat say that Hebi is playing Sidra like Lin Fei, and honestly, I kind of see it because we're seeing a lot of buttons pressed in really like quick succession and taking advantage of a lot of the lack of end lag on some of these signatures, especially when it comes to Cannon N-Sig. We're seeing like that get whiffed to Cannon D-Sig. Well, excuse me, Cannon N-Sig with either weapon. We're seeing both of them come out and both of them go unpunished, and then Hebi always has like another hitbox ready to go.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy, but nonetheless, I feel like it's just a lot of pretty good control from Hebi in those like really bad scramble situations. I feel like as Hebi, you want to kind of create chaos because in a lot of spots like that, I feel like when it was sword versus lance and it was just like very consistent neutral game, it got very scary where the lance was able to just kind of run away with the game. But you know, there you're able to see Hebi pick up a cannon, create chaos, and win those scrambles, especially with that GC down sig, which is a great way to cover that stacked on top hitbox there. It's essentially a cannon ground pound, but instead of having only a hitbox right below, it covers the entirety around you as well. So it works out well as Hebi is able to take that game number 3, and now we're 2-1 with Hebi in the lead. And if not for Serenity stealing that game away, it could be over. So Serenity's still in this set.
Yeah, that GCD sig, by the way, not only does it, like, you know, I feel like it's strong and I feel like it's big, it also repositions Sidra quite a bit, right? So there's a lot of factors that you have to take into account when it comes to just, like, respecting this move, and then also trying to punish somebody for going for it, and then also the kind of space that you're trying to cover and land against. I think Hebi did a really good job of exploiting that move, right, to their advantage, and so going into the next game, we're going to see how it goes.
I definitely think I think signatures are interesting because there's signatures that just have no lag, and then there's signatures that are a little bit laggier but move your hurt box so much in a confusing way where it's hard to punish. Like, how do you really punish Sidra down sig? Like, you can't downlight on a lot of weapons because it covers so much horizontal ground. It's scary to stack on top because if they time it correctly, they can, like, avoid your move, and then now you're stacked into the hitbox. So, like you were saying, like, moves that shift you that much, it's like, how do you really even punish it? And that's what Hebi's kind of playing off of.
Right? Because a move like Sidra's D-Sig, if you whiff it in neutral, you know, depending on the weapon, you usually have a grounded anti option to be able to catch it in some way or another. But yeah, I feel like this is something that especially people from other platform fighters, or at least with myself, they struggle with, specifically with Brawlhalla, which is how good signatures are in this game, right? Compared to like other games of specials. You can press them through signatures that you just have to completely respect and make sure they don't have the space to do it again. Otherwise, there's ones that you will be able to successfully punish sometimes. Right now, though, Hebi gonna be so nice, gonna be so safe, gonna be looking through that end light and using the side just to back away.
Yeah, we don't get to see a lot of Western Air Temple, but when we do, I think we see a lot more of a controlled playstyle, and we're already seeing Hebi utilizing these soft platforms as a way to kind of bait Serenity to be aggressive. But as I say that, it's not working quite as well because you're getting hit by 3 nairs, but nonetheless, you make your way back, and yeah, this is some pretty aggressive playstyle from Serenity, who's definitely the one to push the issue so far on the Lance.
Oh, yeah. Okay, spear on hand, just gonna be opting for the lance. The GC NSYNC connects. That's the beauty of GC NSYNC, by the way, at the ledge with cannon, which is if you whiff it, you're not getting edge guarded. But you know what? That's enough of that. Enough about me. Serenity taking it off the top with the unarmed recovery, and now Hebi gonna be sitting at 2 stocks.
Nice little side flight there to create some space to pick up a weapon, but the sword definitely hasn't found a lot of success as I say that, though. There goes the down air, and there goes the breakdance. There's always time to dance in Brawlhalla, and there closes out a stock.
That was so optimal, wasn't it?
It was
down
crazy.
to be able to punish the side from, you know, Serenity. That was huge on Heavy's behalf. Really nice job. Okay.
Nice little side air there. Almost the flip with the down air. That would have been crazy.
They both made it back on somehow.
Yeah. Side air, the very, very late hitbox able to hit there. Give some space for Hebi, but it's not much. But a ground pound hits and it sends off stage. Going for the slide off NSYNC is crazy to me. I'm not sure what exactly that's going to cover, but I think we're just seeing Hebi kind of let that one rip, and hopefully the cannonball finds a connection.
Oh
Okay,
my
there
gosh.
covers and forces a high recovery into there. That was crazy. Never mind, I'm
Hebi,
wrong.
you teaser.
Hebi's right.
That was unbelievable. Hebi said, hey, you know my NSYNC? You know how this doesn't have lag? I'm gonna immediately jump neutral. Hey, you know how my neutral helps me land here? I'm gonna press NSYNC and neutral again. Okay,
That's crazy. It worked twice.
that's it. That's the Sidra mindset. That's the Sidra grindset, baby. You have to exploit your lack of end lag and put out as many hitboxes as possible.
That was honestly crazy. I was thinking like, okay, the NSYNC is, you're trying to hit with it, but it's actually not even like a hitbox you want to hit with. It's more so just one that forces your opponent to recover high, and then Nair is able to swoop up there. That's crazy.
Oh yeah.
There's some
The
movement here
NSYNC.
so far. Oh,
Wow, what a catch on the platform as well. Serenity doing amazing to even up the stocks. But now, that's a lot of damage they have to make up at the moment.
oh, another down tick catches Serenity stacking on top of Hebi. Another Nair comes in off of the down tick, and okay, let's be careful now. The GC side light, that could have been very scary if Hebi didn't hit a button or a defensive option.
Sido comes out, Serenity makes it back on. Serenity respected the NSYNC and then waited for the second option because that's always the laggier one. Okay, landing with the neutral, doesn't find the Sido, backing away, avoiding the D-light. Hebi, is that gonna be it? Yes, it will be. The dash and D-light into the recovery off the top is able to successfully KO. But the adaptation, I saw the beginnings of that adaptation. I saw the beginnings of that patience that we needed from Serenity.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it was too little too late as Hebi was able to close out that set.